This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan. With your host, Bradley Summers. And get the latest from Alpena Community College with ACC President Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Bradley Summers, and this morning our first guest is Leanne Bloom from the Second Chance Animal Shelter. Hi, Leanne.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Always good to be back.
Well, thank you again for being here.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say it on the first time, but every time you're here, I'm always appreciative of the wonderful things that you talk about with what's going on at your organization.
Yeah.
I know right now, let's talk about one of the biggest needs that we were discussing just before coming out of the show was a need for a full-time shelter manager.
Yes, we are in a position now that we are ready to hire, ready to have someone join the team and take us to the next phase. So we have posted for a shelter manager. It's been on our Facebook page and on the Indeed website. We've got a few good applicants that have put in already, but if anybody out there thinks that they are the person for the job, we'd be more than happy to have them send us their resume.
Well, and so what would be some of the main job duties that this individual would have at the shelter?
Yeah, good question. One of the main things they'd be doing, of course, is animal care. You know, they'd be the one there taking care of cats and eventually dogs when we get them there. They would be responsible for helping with adoptions, if people need to surrender their animals, taking care of the health needs of the animals. So there's going to be a lot of variety in this job. There'll be some reporting requirements they have to do for the state, dealing with the public. So yeah, we're going to need someone who's kind of a jack of all trades.
Yeah, so it's someone that really can just help run the day-to-day operations and make sure that's running at an optimal level.
Yep, taking care of the animals. That's the number one job, is making sure all of our animals are healthy and happy.
And you're there quite a bit right now.
We are. There's a group there right now. As we were talking a little bit earlier, we were contacted by the county and the city police about a hoarding issue in town. There was over 50 cats, wow. Many of them pregnant, and it was kind of an emergency situation. So even though we're not officially open yet and we have no shelter manager, a couple of our volunteers jumped in on a Friday night, went to the location, and we now have 24 wow. cats and kittens. We go from 0 to 90 here in one weekend. So right now we've got them all situated. Several are pregnant, as I said, so there's going to be kittens. A lot more coming in the future. So our biggest needs right now are, medical care. All these animals are going to have to go to the vet, and some need a little bit more care than others. And then supplies, food and litter and stuff like that is always going to be needed. And in a few weeks, too, adopters. Yeah. So, if anyone is thinking about a kitten, please keep watch on our page, because we're going to have some really cute little fluffy kittens. We've got some orange and whites, some blacks, so there's a little bit of everything. So if anyone wants to adopt too, please keep us in mind in a few weeks. Well,
and just going back a little bit to the shelter manager position, what a great way for someone to step up in this community to help such a great cause. And the need for the resources to provide stray animals and abandoned animals and animals that come from these situations. Yeah. These furry friends, are lives that need someone to help play an active role in their lives.
Yeah, and that's kind of how our group came to be. Is we said there's a need. There is a need. The Humane Society stepped up to this situation, and they took a number of animals too. The county animal control took a few, some of the dogs and a few cats, and then us as well. So when anyone ever says, why do we need, 2 shelters? This is an ideal example of exactly why. One shelter would have been overwhelmed with this one situation and not able to help anyone else after this. If someone would have taken in 50 cats, they're done. How are you going to help anyone else that calls?
Yeah.
So this was a really good example of 3 different groups working together for the benefit of these animals that needed our help.
You know, and how important it is to advocate for neutering and spaying services too. Because that one cat or those two cats, and then you have one pregnant, those two cats become 11 cats, and then 20 cats in a very short period of time.
Yes, yeah, it really blows up quickly, you know, and I think in this situation with the number of pregnant cats, there probably would have been 80 cats in that in that home. So, yeah, again, glad that we were able to jump in. The shelter manager in the future will be a key individual in situations like this, you know, assessing how we can help, you know, what we can do, and making it happen.
And then speaking of that help too, special events are vital to any nonprofit, but you know, to provide the resources and the opportunities and the staffing and everything to build that infrastructure of your organization, special events are very important. And I know you have round number 2 of your March event that's going on right now, March Day to Win.
Pay your day to win.
Pay your day to win.
Yeah, we just, you know, our fundraising committee is always looking for, you know, what's something fun, try something different and see if it works. And so we did a fun little pay your day. So you buy your day from March 1st to 31st, you donate that amount, and then you get entered with that number of entries into a drawing for some lotto tickets, of course. It's March, you know. And so the first one sold out in a day. So we said, well, let's try this again, you know, especially with all these cats we have in. So we've got round 2 going on right now. And I think as of this morning, there were still a couple of days left. So once that goes, then we'll be drawing for another set of lotto tickets. And also, people want to watch something fun we're going to have a lot of kittens. So we're going to have a kitten shower.
Cool.
So check out our Facebook page and you can see some of the fun things we're going to do to get some supplies and things we need for these kittens.
Excellent. And so if someone wanted to drop off donations, could they just bring it right to your organization?
Yep. They can you can either Facebook message us. We're at the building a fair bit, so we can always meet them there. Every Saturday from 11 to 4, we're open at the Second Chance resale shop. So there's always someone there that would gladly take donations. You know, like I said, Purina One food, dry or wet for kitten, clumping cat litter. That's always something we can use.
Excellent. And I know the next time we're already getting to the end of the segment, which is amazing how fast these segments go. But next time you're on, I'd like to really talk about your annual fundraiser that's coming up in September on the 27th.
Yep, September 27th at the Aplex this year. So everyone save the date.
That's excellent. And you're going to be sending some of those out, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
But thank you again so much for being here, and what you're doing in the community is just amazing.
Thank you for having us on. We've got a great team, and we're excited to add a new team member as the shelter manager.
Well, I look forward to many more conversations.
All right. Thank you much.
Thank you, Leanne. Stay tuned after the break for Adam Pohl from the Alpena Area Chamber of Commerce. Welcome back, everyone. Our next guest is Adam Pohl with the Alpena Area Chamber of Commerce. Hey, Adam.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you again for being here. Much appreciated. Always to have a representative from the chamber here, which is usually you, talking about a lot of things that are going on for the economic development in our community and how we are increasing our quality of life and all those great things. I know one thing that we really wanted to talk about this morning was the start of just this past Friday, you had the very first Good Midday Alpena, or Good Morning Alpena.
That's okay, I get them confused too, but yes, it was a good morning event.
Good morning event, yes.
Over at the high school.
Yes.
So we were able to talk about their CTE program, and they have a really awesome program over there, and I might add that was run by Joyce McCoy, our Citizen of the Year, who we recently honored at our annual banquet. So we had a blast with that event, and we pretty much have one either Good Midday or Good Morning Alpena lunch or breakfast every month. So we vary the topics. We try to move them around, but really we just had an opportunity for the community to come meet other people in the community and learn about different topics.
Well, and it's great too because it opens the doors up to local businesses. Like I think the next one is at the, not the Alpena Golf Club, I think that's the one in May, but the one in April is Alpena County Library.
I was going to tease you guys. I was quizzing you at that point, but yeah, absolutely. So we do rotate them. It just, sometimes we do them in places where maybe the community hasn't, been able to really look at before. So, I mean, we did one at Thunder Bay Transportation, the roof of NOAA. We just try rotating them around and really just have, we want to people to have new opportunities to see different things.
Yeah, and it's just nice because you get to go in and actually see what these businesses are that you may not frequent very often, and that aren't typically open to the community. I can't say that about the County Library, Alpena Golf Club, but it's just nice to be able to open the doors and have these resources available to people, and it's a great networking event.
Yeah, it's really awesome. There's people from all over different parts of the community that come together, and really just an awesome time to catch up with some people that you probably won't run into on a day-to-day basis.
And then another big event that you have coming up, of course, are your LeaderCast events, but you have one that's called GOAT, G-H-O-A-T.
Absolutely.
Which is talking about the greatest leadership of all time, of something like that?
Yeah, it's just, they always have clever names for these things, and unfortunately I don't know their acronym, but I will say that it is about, just looking at some amazing leaders, either current or potentially past, and just really learning from things that they have to say or they have to teach. So it's always a fantastic event. So we always, community always shows up, and people generally, when I talk to them, they really think it helps them out, either the employers or the employees, just really kind of learn something new.
The greatest hero of all time is what GHOAT
Oh, good. I'm glad you know the acronym. I apologize.
So,
I messed it up.
And kind of looking into these too, I mean, you've been offering these LeaderCasts for a long time, but this is actually like throughout the entire country.
Yes, absolutely. So basically, it is headquartered, last I knew, out of Atlanta, but we have a remote location, and we move it around between ACC and Great Lakes Maritime Heritage Center. We have fantastic host sites, and yeah, it's really an opportunity to get really high-level national speakers that we may not be able to bring to Alpena, but you're talking about Fortune 500, 100 companies that potentially are participating, and all kinds of other speakers as well.
And it's kind of neat too, because it's it technically is one of the largest one-day conferences in the country.
Absolutely. So we do a number of them a year. This one is, I believe, a full-day conference. Earlier this year in January, we did a half-day. Actually, it may have even been a little shorter than that. But just opportunities to really just provide leadership opportunities that we're not going to get in Alpena usually. So it's really awesome to expose sometimes the employees or employers to just more leadership opportunity.
Yeah, it's a great resource to bring, obviously, for the reasons that you just explained. But man, it's so important that in nonprofit worlds and for-profit worlds, that leadership has a way to develop. And even though we're in a smaller community than some, it doesn't mean that we can't have those same resources. So it's really cool that you guys, your organization helps bring that to our communities.
Yeah, we provide our resources, our tools that we can, and obviously there's other resources in the community as well, but we want to do our part for the community.
And then talking a little bit too about, going off of what we were just talking about, but the economic development side of things, is you just had 2 recent ribbon cuttings.
Absolutely. So we've had a couple different ribbon cuttings. Cops and Donuts is now on 23 South. So that's pretty exciting. They have some new ownership over there. I can verify I tasted them. They're fantastic still. Beyond that, we just did Bogey's Indoor Golf Center. That's located out on 32, and that's I've been in the facility once. It's really awesome in there. So I would encourage anybody that has any interest in indoor golf, or they have a few other things to do in there as well. But it's just a really cool facility. Yeah,
people should really, it's cool with the Sanctuary Suites is like the Cops and Donuts location now right at the drugstore, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay. And then with Bogey's, I frequently drive by, that building, and it's had a few different businesses over the years.
It has.
But it's really neat, because at night you can kind of see in a little bit too, and you see, the big screens and the groups that are sitting around in really comfortable furniture, and really seem to be having an amazing time, participating in some, especially since it's winter time here for what seems like forever, 8 months, 9 months out of the year, it seems like it's cold.
And the cool thing is they have extended hours, from what I understand. So you could potentially go later in the evening. Obviously, a lot of our businesses close fairly early in the day, but I believe that you're able to use a keypad and to get in there potentially with your group after normal hours.
And then something really fun to kind of start talking about now that we're, spring is upon us, and we're seeing the sun shining a lot more and the weather's starting to warm up, but fireworks discussion.
Yes.
It's awesome.
We are very much looking forward to that. It is going to be a little bit different this year, only in the fact that they're going to be launching on barges this year. I believe that the city is working, doing some work on the water plant in the usual location. So they have negotiated with our fireworks people to move them off. So they're going to be in front of Bayview, launched off barges this year. So it is going to be a little bit different, but it's still going to be an awesome show. And it's just going to be a slight adjustment to where people may want to sit or congregate.
Wow. So I mean, normally it's they're lit right off from the ground,
Correct.
like right behind
There's
the water
peninsula
treatment.
behind the water treatment.
Okay. So what a cool opportunity that'll be.
Yeah, I think I can't see anything but positive. But at the same point, we're just happy that we're all being flexible, and we ask the community to do the same.
Yeah, and I live a little further away from Starlight Beach, so maybe where I'm at too, if I'm not super close, or I'll be able to see them from my house.
I certainly hope so.
But I appreciate obviously you being on the show and talking about all the wonderful initiatives that are going on at the chamber and all the wonderful things that you're doing to bring the quality of life to Northern Michigan and bring it in a developmental way and do so many things that are helping us up here.
Well, thank you. We have an amazing community that supports us, and to that end, it makes my job a lot easier just having that community support.
And then a great place to live.
Absolutely, that too. So
awesome. Well, thank you again for being here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Appreciate your time, and I'll see you tomorrow when you're dropping off your kids at school.
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you all for joining us as we continue to learn about the world of nonprofits in our community. Stay tuned after the break for the ACC segment.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College. I thought I'd take our time together this morning to share with you week's happenings at Alpena Community College. There's nothing particularly special about this week, but we had a lot of activity, a lot of positive things. You often hear me in these segments talk about things that we're intending to do in the future, fundraising that we're trying to pull together to do a variety of things related to facilities often, but clearly what happens within the facilities is really important, perhaps the most important thing, and I'd like to share some of that with you this morning. So last Saturday, ACC hosted Science Olympiad, which is a competition statewide or national competition where teams from K-12s and junior highs compete. There's probably 15 or 20 different categories, and teams compete in those categories. We probably had 200 or 300 students regionally come to the campus on Saturday. Kudos to Deb Hawtaw, our science instructor at ACC. She's provided great leadership for many, many years on this. It's a wonderful event. And these students are avid science kids. They're the people who will grow up to be engineers and innovators and entrepreneurs and come up with things that benefit society. And we see them as junior high students or K-12 high school students in this competition. And it's a delightful thing. The coaches and parents are very involved, really from the start, but they come to campus as well. And so really from Saturday morning through Saturday late afternoon, we have them there. It culminates in an awards ceremony where the stands in the gym, if you're familiar with them, are pretty much full with students. And they get awards. They get rewarded for the amount of time and effort and focus they put into this activity. I can't tell you as a person who hands out the awards how meaningful it is to many of these young people. They, in some cases, are not the folks who are captain of the sports teams and or the prom queen or king or queen. They're great kids, smart, and it means a lot to them, this activity, and they enjoy and delight in getting awards to recognize it. So a really neat event. Monday morning we had about a dozen folks from around the country. These would be engineers primarily, who came to the college for an electronic controls blockmakers class. These would be folks that own Besser blockmaking equipment. For 6 decades, we've done training programs where people come from around the nation, sometimes around the world, to learn the intricacies of that equipment, how to mix concrete optimally, how to operate the equipment, how to operate the electronics. Many folks don't know, unless you're familiar with Besser equipment, how sophisticated it is, and especially in the electronics area where that just grows more and more so. And so these are really, really bright people who come in and learn the cutting edge of the electronics that control these pieces of block-making equipment. Besser Company's business is thriving, which is great for the community. So the blockmakers courses are very robust, and so that went on all week. And then Wednesday, ACC hosted its first playoff basketball game, men's basketball game, in 25 years. This was enormously exciting. The place was packed. Coach Allen and his team just played with tremendous heart, and the crowd responded. I've been to many games over many years, and I don't know that there's ever been a more exciting environment in the gym. Particularly the student section has really kind of solidified and becomes almost like something you would see at MSU or Duke, this sort of thing, where the students are really involved in an appropriate way. So the team won. They play tonight down at Mott, the next step in the playoff. But congratulations to them. A great representation of ACC and what, in my view, what the proper role of athletics at the community college level ought to be. It's a consolidating event. It should be a positive event. It gives young men an opportunity to continue playing ball and learning the lessons that go with that, how to work as a team, how to kind of see the bigger picture, competing properly. All of this stuff is really key, I think. I believe it, and I've said it. We don't generate a lot of pro ball players through athletics at ACC. I'm not aware of any, but that activity has meaningful impact on many hundreds of students over the years and the people who come out to watch. And so that was very beneficial to the college. It was enjoyable. Kudos to Coach Allen. He did a great job, and his team represented the college beautifully. So I was grateful for that. Today we're hosting a job fair where we're in partnership with Michigan Works. It's organized by Michigan Works. We're hosting it. There'll be 17 employers. This will be in the Besser Tech building and Commons. I spoke along with Dean of Workforce Development, Dawn Stone, to some of the workers at DPI last night, and to try and get the process of retraining underway, and I think that went well. We will have in that job fair faculty in a variety of content areas that might be of interest to folks that are interested in retraining, like the DPI people. We'll be there, and so this is just the outreach that we make in the community. It's something I'm very proud of. I think the college buys into it. It's the middle name in our Alpena Community College. So thank you all for watching. Have a great week, and we'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host Bradley Summers and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at WBKB11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Queen Bee's Knees LLC production, a Morgan Murphy media company. All rights reserved.